शिवशक्तिसमारम्भां भास्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मच्छ्रीनाथपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रीनाथादिगुरुत्रयं गणपतिं पीठत्रयं भैरवं सिद्धौघं वटुकत्रयं पदयुगं दूतीक्रमं मण्डलम् वीराद्यष्टचतुष्कषष्टिनवकं वीरावळी पञ्चकं श्रीमन्मालिनी मन्त्रराजसहितं वन्दे गुरोर्मण्डलम्। श्रीविमर्शानन्दनाथं सत्याम्बासहितं गुरुं हृत्पद्मकर्णिका मध्ये भावयेत् सर्वसिद्धये। श्रीभासुरानन्दनाथाय नमः। श्रीभास्करराय गुरुमण्डलाय नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्।
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha. Welcome to the third day of this week's Sadhana on Soundaryalahari. Today we will learn 35th and 36th verse to chant and recite. First, let us learn to chant the 35th verse.
manastvaṃ vyoma
manastvaṃ vyoma manastvaṃ vyoma
marudasi marutsārathirasi
marudasi marutsārathirasi marudasi marutsārathirasi
manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi
manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi
tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmihi
tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmihi tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmihi
tvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param
tvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param tvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param
tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param
tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param
tvameva svātmānaṃ
tvameva svātmānaṃ tvameva svātmānaṃ
pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā
pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā
tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā
tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā
cidānandākāraṃ
cidānandākāraṃ cidānandākāraṃ
śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe
śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe
cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe
cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe. We will now recite all the 4 lines of the 35th shloka. manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe. Once again we will recite. manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param
त्वमेव स्वात्मानं परिणमयितुं विश्ववपुषा चिदानन्दाकारं शिवयुवति भावेन बिभ्रषे.
So we just learned how to chant the 35th verse. We will now learn to recite the 35th shloka in Varali Ragam from Priya, Paramesh, Mahinta and Karthik.
manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi. manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi.
manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi. manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi.
tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param. tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param.
tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param. tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param.
manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi. tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param. manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi. tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param.
manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi. tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param. manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi. tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param.
tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā. tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā.
tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā. tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā.
cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe. cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe.
cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe. cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe.
tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā. cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe. tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā. cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe.
tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā. cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe
manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe
manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe manastvaṃ vyoma marudasi marutsārathirasi tvamāpastvaṃ bhūmistvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param tvameva svātmānaṃ pariṇamayituṃ viśvavapuṣā cidānandākāraṃ śivayuvati bhāvena bibhṛṣe.
Let us now look into the word by word meaning of the 35th verse. Manastvaṃ, tvam manaha. O Devi, you are the manas. Vyomatvam, you are the akasha tattvam. Vyoma means akasha. You are the akasha tattvam. Marudasi has to be split as marutasi. You are the vayu or vayu tattvam. You are the air principle. Marutsārathirasi, marutsarathihi asi. You are the charioteer or friend for Marut. Marut means Vayu. You are the friend for Vayu, meaning you are Agni, fire. Tvamāpaha, tvam apaha. You are the water principle. Tvam bhumihi. You are the prithvi tattva. Tvayi pariṇatāyāṃ nahi param. Tvayi pariṇatāyāṃ param hi nahi. There is indeed nothing other than you. Tvameva, tvam eva. Only you. Pariṇamayituṃ. Only you can modify and manifest svātmānaṃ, your akhanda form, viśvavapuṣā, as this jagat or vishva. Only you can modify and manifest your akhanda form as this jagat or vishva. Śivayuvati bhāvena, and as a form of the young wife of Shiva, Śivayuvati, cidānandākāraṃ, as well as the Chit Shakti or consciousness of Chidananda or Ananda Bhairava. Bibhṛṣe, you obtain. Let us now put all the words together and try to understand the meaning that Bhagavad Pada wants to convey through the 35th shloka. Bhagavad Pada Shankaracharya describes the Kaulamatha in this verse also. This shloka explains the seamless transformation of Shakti, the energy principle. This Shakti thinks of becoming the young wife of Shiva and becomes the śivayuvati. They both together, Shiva and Shakti together, then in the form of the union of consciousness, that is the Chit Shakti, and as bliss, that is Ananda Bhairava, that is what is represented by the word cidānandākāraṃ, meaning the bliss as the Ananda Bhairava. They both together in this form of the union have seamlessly transformed as the prapancha or this material world. Let us see how beautifully this parinama or transformation is happening.
Hey Devi, you are within me in my Ajna Chakra as my mind or consciousness. You are residing in my Vishuddhi Chakra as space. You are in my Anagata Chakra as air, in my Swadhisthana Chakra as fire, in my Manipura Chakra as water, and in my Mooladhara Chakra as earth. You are in the form of Ashtamurtis or 8 forms representing manifestation of this universe. Consciousness, Chit Shakti, and bliss, Ananda, are the forms of the Brahman interwoven with the Ashtamurtis or the 8 forms constituting this universe. What are these Ashtamurtis constituting this universe? They are the 5 Panchabhutas, Yajamana, Sun and Moon. It is easy for us to understand the Panchabhutas as the 5 Murtis out of the 8. Let us look at the word Yajamana. We saw in yesterday's class how the Antarhavanam is done. The word Juhomi implies the sankalpa or the statement of purpose, which means the person doing the yajna or the sadhaka is Yajamana. This Yajamana is the 6th Murti. So, 5 are the Panchabhutas and the 6th Murti is the Yajamana. Now, let us see how the Manas in Ajna Chakra becomes the moon, the 7th Murti. In the Purusha Suktam, the Vedas say, Chandrama Manaso Jataha, that is, moon originates in our mind. Let us now look at the word Marutsārathi, meaning Marut, that is Vayu's Sarathi, or implying Vayu's friend. It means here Agni. In Taitriya Aranyakam, Aruna Prashnam says, Anhognihi Tamro Arunaha Ta Avisrashtau. This Vedic verse confirms the word Agni denotes Surya. So by saying Marutsārathi, Bhagavad Pada is implying Surya in this verse. So we have just seen that the word Mano or Manas represents the moon and the word Marutsārathi represents the sun. In the Aruna Modini, a commentary on Soundaryalahari by Kameshvara Suri, we see Karya Karana Abhedat Upacharat, meaning we cannot split the karyam or effect from karanam or cause. For example, a bangle, which is the effect, made out of gold, which is the cause, cannot be separated and it is still gold. The Bhashyam further says, Mano Marutsāratihi Padabhyameva Surya Chandramasa Rupam. That is the words Mano Marutsārathi we find in this 35th verse mean the two murtis, moon represented by the word manas and the sun by the word marutsārathi or fire. So we have now understood the Ashtamurtis which constitute this universe. These same Ashtamurtis represent the 6 chakras in our body from Mūladhara chakra to Ajna chakra. They also are the material universe created like the sun, moon, planets, stars, galaxies. They also transform as the Ananda Bhairava Shiva as bliss and Ananda Bhairavi Shakti as Chit or consciousness and reside in our Sahasrara chakra as Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupa. This is the connection of our body comprising Sthula, physical, Sukshma, mental, and Karana Sharira, causal body, with our soul consciousness or Antaratma and universal consciousness as Shakti and Shiva as Chit and Ananda, united as Ananda Bhairavi and Ananda Bhairava.
Further, Arunamodini explains śivayuvati as Shivasya Yuvatihi Jaya Tasyaha Sambuddhihi. Hey Śivayuvati, meaning Hey Bhagavati. Yuvati is young and Jaya means wife. Shiva and Shakti are always united as husband and wife. Bhagavad-pada gives us a clue that from this verse to the end of Soundaryalahari, we need to meditate on Shakti as Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupini. Once the Kundalini has reached the Sahasrara chakra and unites with Shiva and starts its descent into our body, the Kundalini is purified by the Amrita Dhara. We have explained this Sudha or nectar emanating in the Sahasrara chakra due to the union of Kundalini Shakti with Shiva in our earlier verses. This purified Kundalini on its descent into our human body irrigates our body with this Amrita. We are reborn. She becomes our mother. Lalita Sahasranama's first name and the last name summarizes this concept. Shri Mata and Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupini Lalitambika. So the summary of this shloka is that the sadhaka should have the bhāvena of the entire Brahmanda being merged with the 5 Panchabhutas and the Manastattva, and further integrate these 6 elements into his or her own body's 6 chakras, unite all these chakras and merge them all into the Devi in the Sahasrara chakra, and then meditate on Devi and Shiva as an abhinna or as one entity in himself. It's a very beautiful verse, but it needs a lot of thinking and comprehension. Let us now move on to learning verse number 36.
Tavājñācakrasthaṃ
Tavājñācakrasthaṃ Tavājñācakrasthaṃ
tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ
tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ
Tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ
Tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ Tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ
param śambhuṃ vande
param śambhuṃ vande param śambhuṃ vande
parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā
parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā
param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā
param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā
yamārādhyanbhaktyā
yamārādhyanbhaktyā yamārādhyanbhaktyā
raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye
raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye
yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye
yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye
nirāloke'loke
nirāloke'loke nirāloke'loke
nivasati hi bhālokabhuvane
nivasati bhālokabhuvane nivasati bhālokabhuvane
nirāloke'loke nivasati hi bhālokabhuvane
nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane. Now let us chant all the 4 lines of the 36th verse together.
tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane.
Let's do it once again.
tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane.
So we just learned to chant the 36th shloka. Now let's move on to listen to Priya, Paramesh, Mahinta and Kartik and learn to recite the 36th shloka in Varali Ragam.
tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ
tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ
param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā
param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā
tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā
tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā
yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye
yamārādhyanbhaktyā यमārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye
nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane
nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane
yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane
yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane
tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane
tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane tavājñācakrasthaṃ tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ param śambhuṃ vande parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā yamārādhyanbhaktyā raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye nirāloke'loke nivasati bhālokabhuvane.
Let us now see the word by word meaning of the 36th shloka. Vande, the third word in the second line, vande, you just have to add aham vande, I bow down, to param śambhuṃ vande, who, that param śambhuṃ, that is that parashambhu, Shiva. I bow down to that parashambhu. Now come to the first word of the first line. tavājñācakrasthaṃ. tavājñācakrasthaṃ. Who is in your Ajna Chakra? That is, in Devi's Ajna Chakra. Again come to the second line. parimilitapārśvaṃ paracitā. How is this param śambhu? He is with paracitā, who is called the paracitā by Bhagavad Pada, and who is also parimilitapārśvaṃ, who is blended with him on both sides. tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ. This is from the first line. tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ. This form of Shiva with paracitā on both sides, blended with him, is having the brilliance of infinite rays of sun and moon. tapanaśaśikoṭidyutidharaṃ. Yam-bhaktya ārādhyan. The first word of the third line. Yam-bhaktya ārādhyan. That sadhaka who meditates such a form of Shiva with paracitā on both sides, and who meditates with devotion, raviśaśiśucīnāmaviṣaye, even to the sun, moon and Agni, fire, who light this entire universe, aviśaye, even to Ravi, to the sun, moon and fire, it is not describable. Nirāloke'loke, it is not visible. That means it is incomprehensible. Nirāloke'loke, it has to be split as nirāloke plus aloke. Nirāloke means incomprehensible. Aloke means it's a world which is separate from the one we all know and perceive. Nivasati hi. The next two words, nivasati hi, means indeed such a sadhaka lives in, where does he live? Bhālokabhuvane. He lives in that universe of only light, which means that he is merged with the Devi, or he has obtained the Sayujya Padavi of Devi. From this verse, the 36th verse to the 41st verse, we have to meditate on the Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupini, Shakti fully merged within Shiva in the 6 chakras or energy centers in our body. We have already talked about these chakras in verses 9, 10 and 11. In this verse, Shiva as Parashambhu is meditated on the Ajna Chakra. Ajna Chakra is a 2-petaled lotus. In the center, that is bhrumadhya or center of eyebrows, is where Parashambhu manifests, and on his sides, Shakti, called Chitparamba, merges herself into Parashambhu. Bhagavad Pada explains this union of Parashambhu and Chitparamba. We have already explained how during the ascent of Kundalini Shakti, Sadhaka visualizes a lightning-like brightness at his Ajna Chakra. Shloka number 21, if you remember, we saw the same as Tatillekha Tanvīṃ Tapanaśashi Vaishvānaramayīṃ and so on. And the same idea was in Lalita Sahasranama also as Tatillata Samruchihi.
Here, Acharya explains that this bright light cannot be described even by light from the sum total of sun, moon and fire, which means beyond our comprehension, and referred here as nirāloke, beyond our vision. Also, this bright light is different from the world we experience, which is aloke, and is called bhāloka, or world made of effulgent radiance. In this bhāloka, the sadhaka will reside for sure, as he gets the Sayujya with Shakti. In the Vedas also this is explained. And most of you may know or heard about this verse, which is commonly said during Deeparadhana. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kutoyam agnihi tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Meaning, in that place, there the Surya doesn't shine, the moon doesn't shine either, nor do the stars or the lightning. How will Agni shine? One whose own Prakasha or the Swayam Prakasha shines bright, his own light will brighten up the sun, moon, stars and fire. Let us now understand the name Ajna Chakra. Ajna meaning order or command. It got its name because of the order or command of Ishvara, the Paramatma, to Jiva, the individual, and is located in the bhūmadhya or between the eyebrows. Out of the 360 rays emanating from moon in the Sahasrara Chakra, 64 rays or kalas are in the Ajna Chakra. We learnt about nadis in earlier classes. In the Ajna Chakra, the two nadis Ida and Pingala meet. You all know that all the 6 chakras, the Sushumna nadi is the one which is common. Also, there are 2 subtle or Sukshma nadis called Varuna and Asi, which connect the Ajna Chakra to the Sahasrara Chakra. In between these 2 nadis at the Ajna Chakra, Parashambhu resides. In Bharata Desha, India, this place is Varanasi. Varuna Asiyor Madhye Varanasi. Here, Varuna and Asi are the 2 divine rivers joining the holy river Ganga. All the ghats lie in between the Varuna Ghat and Asi Ghat on the banks of the river Ganges in the Kasi Kshetra. And this is where Vishwanatha manifested along with Annapurna. In this verse, Bhagavad-pada mentions parimilitapārśvaṃ, meaning the 2 Shaktis on the 2 sides of Śambhuṃ. In Varanasi Kshetra, the 2 Shaktis are Vishalakshi and Durga. And in our body, she resides as Hakini in our Ajna Chakra. Also, when we are doing the Pitha for the Varanasi as a Pitha, we start as a Mukhavrita. We start with the Ajna Chakra, bhūmadhya, and then go around and end in the same Ajna Chakra. That is how we do the Nyasam. You all know when we do the Pitha Nyasam.
And Devi Vaibhava Ashcharya Ashtotram has a reference to exactly the same point through the Nama Kashipura Nivasini. Also, probably this is why in India we have this tradition and culture of placing the red color sindoor in the Ajna Chakra, denoting the auspiciousness of that place in our forehead. According to Sri Shankara Vijayam, it is said that Sri Adi Shankara received the Ajna from his Guru Gaudapada to write the bhashyams for Brahma Sutram and all other works, and after he worships Kashi Vishwanatha at Varanasi and gets his blessings and Ajna, he proceeds to Badrinath to complete the bhashyams. So, with this beautiful note on Varanasi, which many of us would not have known or been aware of the esoteric importance of that kshetra, we conclude today's session. To continue to enjoy this bliss, please join us again tomorrow, same time, and we will learn the 37th and the 38th verse of Soundaryalahari. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha.